Japanese taxi drivers are still running cars past 500,000 miles. Same roads, same transmission components available anywhere on the planet, but their gearboxes outlast the average Western car by hundreds of thousands of miles, and nobody is talking about why. It's not the brand of fluid. It's not some special Japanese-only technology. It's not luck. It's 4 specific steps they follow every single time the transmission fluid gets changed. Steps that are so overlooked, so quietly effective, that most mechanics in the West have never even heard them discussed. The Japanese have a word: Kaizen, continuous small improvements. Applied to a gearbox, it means this: every transmission service is not just a fluid swap. It's an opportunity to reduce internal wear by a fraction of a percent. Repeat that discipline over 400 services across the life of a vehicle, and the compounding effect is staggering. Change the fluid every 30,000 miles? Sometimes unnecessary. Use an OEM specified fluid? Important, but not the whole story. Avoid flushing machines? Closer, but still not the real difference. After studying how transmissions actually deteriorate over time, one thing becomes undeniably clear. The gearbox that fails at 150,000 miles and the one that crosses 500,000, the split isn't about parts. It isn't about luck. It comes down to a handful of overlooked details performed consistently during every single service. Let me show you exactly what they are. How transmissions actually die. Before the 4 steps, understand this: transmissions don't fail because the fluid gets old. They fail when the fluid stops doing its 3 jobs simultaneously: lubricating, cooling, and maintaining hydraulic pressure. Inside an automatic transmission, clutch packs engage hundreds of times on a single drive. Every single engagement generates a momentary heat spike at the clutch face. Temperatures can briefly reach 500 degrees Fahrenheit for milliseconds during engagement. The fluid is what absorbs that spike. It flows through porous clutch material, carries the heat away, and keeps the friction surfaces from glazing over. When the fluid is fresh, this system works perfectly. But here's what most people never consider. Transmission fluid degrades through 2 separate mechanisms simultaneously, and most service intervals only address one of them. The first is chemical degradation. Heat causes oxidation. Oxidation forms acids, varnish, and sludge. These deposits coat valve body passages, restrict fluid flow, and cause pressure drops that lead to soft, slipping shifts. At 220 degrees of sustained heat, varnish begins forming. At 240 degrees, seals start to harden. By the time fluid shows visible contamination, the chemical damage has been happening silently for thousands of miles. The second is mechanical degradation. Every gear shift shears the long-chain polymer molecules inside the fluid, the viscosity index improvers that allow fluid to maintain consistent thickness across temperature ranges. Once these chains break, the fluid thins, and thin fluid cannot maintain the hydraulic pressure required to fully engage clutch packs. Partially engaged clutches slip. Slipping clutches generate excess heat. Excess heat accelerates oxidation. It's a compounding failure loop that begins invisibly. Japanese mechanics understand this at a structural level. That's why their approach to transmission service looks nothing like what happens at most quick service shops. Here are the 4 steps. Step 1. Fluid temperature at the time of drain. The first critical moment happens before the drain plug is ever touched. Most transmission services happen whenever the car arrives, cold, barely warmed up, or anywhere in between. This is one of the most damaging habits in routine maintenance, and almost nobody discusses it. Here's the mechanical reality. Transmission fluid at cold temperatures is thicker and flows more slowly. More critically, the microscopic metal particles, oxidation byproducts, and worn clutch material suspended in the fluid begin to settle when the fluid cools. They sink into the lower passages of the pan, cling to gasket surfaces, and accumulate around the magnet in the transmission sump. When fluid reaches full operating temperature, 2 things happen. First, viscosity drops to its designed working range, and the fluid flows freely. Second, all suspended contaminants, every microscopic piece of clutch material, every metal particle, every oxidation byproduct, remain evenly dispersed throughout the fluid rather than settled at the bottom. That means a properly warmed transmission drains far more contaminated fluid than one serviced cold. Not all of it. That's mechanically impossible. Some fluid always clings to valve bodies, clutch packs, and upper galleries. But draining at operating temperature removes significantly more of what you don't want mixed into fresh fluid. Practical application: drive the vehicle for 10 to 15 minutes of normal operation before any transmission service. Not a 30-second warm-up in a parking lot. Actual driving. Operating temperature means the transmission has cycled through multiple gear changes. The fluid has moved through the torque converter and cooler lines, and every contaminant is in full suspension. This single step is where longevity either compounds or stays average. Step 2. The hidden drain window. The next detail is almost insultingly simple, but almost every quick service shop in the world gets it wrong. After the drain plug is removed and the main flow of fluid stops, most technicians wait roughly 60 to 90 seconds before reinstalling the plug and moving on. From an efficiency standpoint, that makes perfect sense. From a mechanical standpoint, it's leaving significant contamination behind. Here's what's actually happening. An automatic transmission is not a simple reservoir. It's a hydraulic system with fluid living in dozens of distinct zones: the torque converter, valve body galleries, clutch pack clearances, cooler lines, and upper passages throughout the case. The pan drains quickly. Those other areas drain slowly. For the first 2 to 3 minutes after the main flow stops, residual fluid continues weeping back into the pan through internal passages. This fluid has been in contact with the hottest, most stress-loaded components in the transmission. It carries the highest concentration of heat-broken additives, dissolved clutch material, and oxidation acids of anything in the system. If the plug goes back in during this window, which it almost always does in a commercial service environment, that residual fluid mixes directly with the fresh fluid being refilled. On day 1, before the car ever leaves the parking lot, fresh transmission fluid contains precision-engineered additive packages, anti-wear agents, friction modifiers, dispersants, and oxidation inhibitors. When that chemistry meets a significant volume of degraded residue immediately, its protective capacity is chemically compromised from the moment it enters the system. The discipline here is simply waiting 5 to 7 minutes of full drain time after the main flow stops. No special tools, no additional cost, just patience applied consistently across hundreds of services. That patience is cumulative stress reduction, invisible but real. Step 3. OEM Fluid specification, the part everyone gets wrong. This is where the myth-breaking matters most. The common advice is to use a high-quality transmission fluid. The better advice, the advice that Japanese taxi fleet mechanics follow without exception, is to use the exact fluid specification the transmission was engineered around. Not a universal fluid, not a close enough equivalent. The specified formulation. Here's why this is more critical than most people understand. Modern automatic transmissions do not use generic lubrication. The friction characteristics of your clutch packs, specifically how the clutch material behaves during engagement, are calibrated to produce a specific friction coefficient with a specific fluid chemistry. This relationship between fluid friction modifier chemistry and clutch material is engineered together. They are a matched system. When a universal or cross-compatible fluid is substituted, even one with similar viscosity and generally high quality, the friction modifier package is different. The shift feel changes subtly. More importantly, the heat transfer characteristics change. The way fluid flows through the porous clutch material during engagement changes. Over thousands of shifts, this mismatch compounds into accelerated wear on friction surfaces that were never designed to work with that particular chemistry. Research on wet clutch degradation confirms this mechanically Oxidized or chemically mismatched fluid changes the dynamic friction coefficient at the clutch interface, which in turn alters how heat is generated and dissipated during every single shift event. Do that 200,000 times over the life of a gearbox, and the cumulative effect is not theoretical. It's measured in premature failure. The cost difference between OEM specified fluid and a universal fluid is often trivial. The long-term consequence of the wrong choice is not. Check the owner's manual or transmission specification, not the bottle that claims to cover everything. Step 4. The multiple drain and fill method. This is the most powerful of the 4 steps, and the least understood. Here is the mechanical reality most people never learn about partial drain and fill services. On a typical automatic transmission, draining the pan removes approximately 1/3 of the total fluid volume. The remaining 2/3 stays trapped in the torque converter, cooler lines, valve body passages, and clutch pack clearances. That fluid never leaves the system. So after a single drain and fill, the transmission is operating on roughly 1/3 new fluid, mixed with 2/3 old fluid. The old fluid's degraded additive chemistry, oxidation byproducts, and worn clutch material are now diluting the fresh fluid's protective capacity from day one. Japanese fleet mechanics don't accept this. Their approach to high-mileage transmission preservation is the sequential multiple drain and fill, performed in a specific way that mechanically renews a far greater percentage of the total fluid volume than a single service ever can. Here is the process. After the first drain and warm refill, the vehicle is driven gently for 15 to 20 minutes. Not aggressively, smooth, moderate driving that cycles the transmission through all gear ranges, circulates the partially refreshed fluid through every internal passage, and allows the fresh fluid to absorb and suspend residual contamination throughout the system. The transmission is then drained again while still warm. The fluid that comes out now contains the contamination that was trapped in the torque converter and upper passages during the first service. A second refill, another short drive, another warm drain. Depending on mileage and the condition of the fluid, this cycle is repeated 2 to 3 times per service interval. The result is a progressively cleaner system. By the third drain, the fluid exiting the pan is noticeably cleaner, lighter in color, reduced in metallic smell, with fewer suspended contaminants. The transmission is now operating on a fluid mix that is 70 to 80% fresh, rather than the 33% that a single service delivers. This is not complicated. It requires more time, slightly more fluid, and the discipline to follow the process. It is also exactly why some transmission systems running to 500,000 miles look remarkably clean inside, while others running to 150,000 look like the fluid was forgotten for the vehicle's entire life. There's no magic fluid, no $200 additive, no single product that separates a gearbox that crosses 500,000 miles from one that destroys itself at 150,000. What separates them is a system, a disciplined, repeatable process that reduces cumulative stress by small fractions on every single service. Subscribe for more simple fixes that can save your engine and your money.